Helping out whenever he can with Paddy O'Brien fitting alarm systems for the elderly. He does it. I mean, he doesn't ask for any praise or thanks. He just gets on with it. And there isn't a month go by that he's not fitting them for the elderly on Leeside, and people feel much more safe and secure in their own home, particularly if they're elderly and living alone, with the help of Paddy O'Brien and Highland Security. So take a bow, Tony. Lines open, as I say. Text 0868 104 106 and also pick up the phone on our new number 0818 104 106. Back to the phone lines we go. Martin, good morning.
Morning, Neil.
You too. Many happy returns. This is great because I have a lot of texts on drinks. So rather than read them out just now, nicer to chat. So anyway, the increase has come in. What do you make of it all?
Yeah, I think the government are making a balls of this again, and they're overstepping their authority on this. We heard from Michael Guerin yesterday from Coomberra and how these measures, they're not really to tackle the addicts in our society, but more the binge drinkers. And is that really the place of the government to kind of in putting these measures in place to target binge drinking? Because if it is, what comes next? Is the COVID pass going to be turned into your drink pass? Just to deter
the COVID pass is a drink pass.
Well, you know what I mean? Well, it might have a minimum of 2 drinks attached to it, or 2 units of alcohol attached to it, where you can purchase your units of alcohol, and once you reach your limit, you're going to be cut off at the bar. Your pass won't not longer be valid. I just think we're heading down a very dangerous road, and I think these measures are more to the benefit of the black market, yet again, much like drug prohibition, and it's not going to achieve the desired outcome.
Yeah, you're a big cannabis advocate, but yet yesterday we heard from Coomberra that cannabis leads to all sorts of issues with people, where they can end up psychotic from its use.
Certainly, Neil,
and they're treating them.
Yeah, I'm sure if we were to leave Coomberra lead the conversation on legalisation, we would never get there, because they're staunch prohibitionists. They're going to be very biased about the facts that they relate to. It would be much like leaving priests at the time of gay marriage lead the conversation there. It would have been very disingenuous. What we're doing today currently is...
that's not fair. I mean, they're at the front line trying to treat people's addictions and trying to get them into rehab to let them have better lives.
That's certainly true, but they're only seeing one perspective of things. You know, that they've got horse blinders on when it comes to drugs, and they're only ever focused in on the harms. They're going to completely dismiss the fact that somebody could go out and use a cannabis responsibly and not fall into this cannabis-induced psychosis. They're not going to admit that. They're only going to talk about, and I was listening back to Michael Guerin's speech there that he gave on the radio yesterday, and he just talked all about the horrors seen with drug use. But why didn't he bring up the fact that Ava Toomey is living an incredibly better life now, thanks to cannabis as her medicine? He doesn't want to talk about these benefits that cannabis has for people. He'll only ever focus on the harms. And again, that's why...
But you're going into the... I know, in fairness, but that's going into the areas of medicinal cannabis. That's not quite the same. And we were talking...
He's supporting the prohibition of cannabis. And many people who use cannabis, Neil, are self-medicating.
He actually said that's... No, you're not right there, because he actually said, words to the effect that it's up to legislators to legislate on that. They're just dealing, whether it's drink or whether it's cocaine or heroin or whether it's gambling addictions or all of the above. They're just dealing with those people who are suffering from them. They don't legislate.
No, they certainly don't, but Michael Guerin gave his opinion that legalisation would be a bad idea. In essence, he's in favour of prohibition, where the drugs are sold by gangsters, criminals, to our kids on the streets, not in control. Whereas alcohol, we look at alcohol currently, it's relatively under control. I'm not going to say our policy around alcohol is perfect, but it's under control. It's a lot more difficult for a young person to get access to alcohol currently. Whereas cannabis, they can go onto their Snapchat, Instagram, and it's going to be there. And I foresee a time in a not too distant future where alcohol is going to be back in the black market, much like cannabis and the other drugs, and young people are going to have, again, unfettered access to this much more dangerous drug when it's coming from these unregulated sources.
And just briefly, the unregulated source, how will that work? You referenced, say, when we had things like prohibition, we had bootleggers, was it that kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see back into those kind of areas. We've already heard talks of people travelling across the border to the north now to bring back cheap alcohol. If that starts happening, well, we're going to see an introduction of counterfeit cans, counterfeit alcohol. We're going to start to see lots more problems in relation to these measures being put in, rather than the kind of the solutions that they were supposed to bring.
All right, my man. Thanks as always. Appreciate you taking the call. Text 0868 104 106, guys. Pick up the phone on 0818 104 106. We'll do some texts after the break.
It's almost 11 o'clock. With multitrip.com. Visit multitrip.com, Ireland's favourite travel insurance provider. Rated excellent with over 17,000 reviews.
New this week in Home Store and More. All Fireside accessories are half price. But better hurry, because when all our half price Fireside accessories are gone, they're gone. Also, all 100% cotton printed duvet.
Alright guys, good morning everybody out there. Happy New Year to everybody in the audience. Just got an opportunity there, guys, to go on the air with Neil Prendeville this morning after he had Michael Guerin from Coonvera on yesterday. So the reason why I was on with the guys is basically I text in saying that drug prohibition is the problem, not the drugs. And from that then I got an invite to come on and further elaborate on my point. So I hope I've done a good job there. But you know, it'll be interesting to see where this goes from here. The government are way out of control at the moment currently. This minimum unit pricing of alcohol, it's not a benefit to the community at all. It's just going to make life more difficult to the people out there who like abuse alcohol, who are addicted to alcohol, to whatever the phrase is that they want to use. So hopefully I've done a good job there, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. I forgot to add the hotbox back there actually to the stream. I had the hotbox up there now as well. The hotbox in oil. There we go. Better get the show back in order for the return there during the week. We'll try to get a 420 news done on Friday, guys. In oil. Looking forward to getting back to you. Shout out to everybody in the audience. We got Mustawiz out there. We got Podge in the audience. What's happening, Podge? Gonna remove that spanner, Podge, as requested. So that's done now, Podge. Been a while since I've been on, so yeah, I got a few things that need to be done. Others in the audience, Daniel Long, what's happening? Pods for 420. Mustawiz, surprise mofo, what's going on? Podge 85 says, but sure, isn't that the same with alcohol? A lot of mental problems from it, yet still legal on sales. That's true as well, Podge. I should have pointed that one out to him. Mustawiz says, hey Toker, and Daily Toker's out there as well. What's happening? Canaman 83 is in the audience. Others in the audience. Papa Gummy Bear, what's happening? He says, that was stupid. I'm going back in my echo chamber. Podge 85 saying Neil P is still a bollocks on his blind thinking that cannabis is different. Yeah, Podge, I definitely think that Neil is playing like devil's advocate there. I reckon if Neil was to be honest about his opinion, I would say that he's a supporter of legalization in some sense. But look, I'm putting words where I shouldn't be putting them. Neil is free to give his own opinion, but that's just my assumption of what his opinion would be. Pots for 420 says, Coonvera is a joke. Have plenty of mates that went in there just to keep the law off their parents' back. Not one of them came out of it clean. In fact, they didn't even stop taking drugs. Yeah, I know a few people like that as well, Pods. They use treatment as a way to get it more lenient, more favourable outcome there in court. I know others who had take the urine tests, and they used to go down to Mad and buy this drink down in Mad that you drink this drink and you would piss clean after it. So basically you would drink this maybe an hour before you went in to do your drug test, and you would piss into the cup, and your urine sample would be clean as a result of this drink. I don't know that I still have it made, but that's I couldn't imagine that that's good for you, like. But it definitely got you off with the test anyway. I did for this lady. Adam O'Brien, fair play to Neil. Morning all, nice one, Adam. Scatna says, if ever he'd let you speak, Martin. Daily Talker, hey Wes, hope you're all good. Yeah. Best Scatness, I suppose I would have to say that Neil, I would definitely say of all the radio interviewers that I've been on with, I would have to say Neil has certainly been the most accommodating. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely think he's the most accommodating, and there's been many times I've been on with him where he has let me like just speak at large, you know, for like 1 or 2 minutes there uninterrupted. And he did admit in the past, you know, that I made very good points, and that it was very hard to argue with some of the points I've made. So I would have to say that Neil is definitely one of the better interviewers that I've met over the years. but not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Who is perfect? I'm certainly not perfect myself. Other comments coming in there. Pod 85, already have 5 of my drinking friends going home brewing. Yeah, you know, that's not a bad thing once these people don't mess it up and poison themselves, which could be a problem with home brewing in the future. You know, if there is an increase at home brewing, and if a few people try to get into the illegal side of like poaching brewing and stuff like that, will we start seeing a return to the days where people were getting those methanol poisonings, you know, going blind when your alcohol is not alcohol? Probably, yeah, it's definitely, I reckon that these measures are going to achieve the counter of what they were set out to achieve. You know, they're actually going to be detrimental to people's health than to benefit people's health. Daily Talker says, these people are so stubborn for all the wrong reasons. Kitmar, what's happening, Kitmar? It's like the government wants everyone to be perfect monks or some shit. These people do the exact same things behind closed doors. That's it, Kitmar. They try to pretend that their shit doesn't stink, but just like ours, theirs does too. They are no different from us. They came into the world a crying baby, and they're going to leave it in a box just like the rest of us. But yeah, they do seem to think that they're above us in some sense of that reality. And yeah, where do we go as a society from here? You know, is it just going to be a case of we're going to have an ever increase in minimum unit pricing until a point to where they're just going to say, hey, look, as I said, you know, the COVID pass, like, will it be a case of where certain people under COVID pass, hey, look, you've passed this fucking exam, you know, the government are trusting you to drink alcohol, but look, these poor people over there, these people on social welfare, look, we're not going to allow them to drink, you know, because they're on social welfare. You know, like, where do we draw the line from here? Because these measures are only ever being introduced to target like poor people, because an increase in price doesn't affect the bottom line for a person who's on a 6-figure salary. It's only really going to affect a person who's on minimum wage, a part-time worker on minimum wage, or a person on the dole. They're the people who are trust. So what's that the government are saying about those people? It's, oh, those people, they can't be trusted. We have to make it more difficult for those people to access it, because those are the people who are abusing it, which is wrong. That's not true at all. And as I say, like, if we were to follow on that line, what's the next step? You know, the COVID pass now that the majority of people have, and it is the majority of people, if what the numbers are saying, like 90% of the population now is vaccinated, I'd have to imagine that 90% of those people have the app in their phone now, which allows them entry to the bar. Well, look, we've got the app. You're like already halfway there. The government are just going to install now into those apps that you're using to display your COVID pass, you know, your drink pass. You know, show permission there from the government that you're allowed to sit down at the bar stool and scull back 4 or 5 pints because the government said you can. Not because you were born and given the God-given right to make these choices for yourself. No, that those things have been taken away from you now. It's all about the government and the government's ability to decide what you can and cannot do. I reckon that's where we're going in society with all of this shit, like, and that's why if I even got COVID in the morning, I wouldn't be applying for one of those COVID passes. I don't want to engage with business that are going to be bringing this stuff in, because I reckon it's just bringing in totalitarianism from the government, and we see them now, like they're encroaching on our personal freedoms every bloody day now. You know, going to restrict your ability to go binge drinking. It's like, if I want to go binge drinking, that should be my prerogative. I should be allowed to go down binge drinking just you know. Just because I had a bad day. Canaman 83, cannabis supported treatment works too. Usually addiction has underlying conditions. Cannabis can support in managing these issues, and in return support the person back into living life. Yeah, that's very true, Canaman. That's been the case over in places like Canada, where they've brought people in who were addicted to drugs like heroin and stuff like that, crack cocaine. And with the aid of cannabis, they were able to get them through the withdrawals, to get them free from the drug within their system, and able to return back to a normal life, you know, free from that addiction. So yeah, cannabis definitely has its benefits there for people addicted to harder drugs, and I'm kind of using air quotes there. Adam O'Brien, social welfare goes up a fiver and they bump up the price of a slab of Budweiser by 20 euros, only in Ireland. Yeah, I noticed that there actually yesterday when collecting the old dole. There was an extra fiver on it. We get 208 euro now, boys. Cleaning up. Thank God I don't drink. All that extra money for me. Podge 85 says, I'm not vaxxed myself, and I've had a few refusing to serve me. Yeah, that's messed up, Podge. We're heading into some strange old times. The segregation, how that's just accepted by people as being normal, when the people with the vaccine are catching COVID now because of the new variant, just as much as the people not vaccinated. It's so strange. It makes no sense, much like prohibition makes no sense. Scatness says, you're only allowed to have 3 points. It's Black Mirror plus 1984 equals our soon-to-be reality. Yeah, well, that's it. Like, am I alone out there, guys? I'm going to do a poll out there on YouTube before we end the stream there in a few minutes. And I'm just going to ask, do you think the government would introduce citizens a daily drink limit on citizens? There we go. That's that's up on the YouTube there now, guys. If people want to take part in that poll. But do you think that the government are going to introduce a drink limit on citizens? Do you think that's something that will be coming down the line? Do you agree with my prediction there? That someday in the not too distant future, the government might turn around and say, hey guys, if you want to go to the pub, you better bring your app, and you're only allowed like 2 pints, 3 pints. 3 pints there, as Scatness says. Like 3 pints of Bud Light, but if you want the normal Budweiser, you're only allowed 1.5. Yeah, Pods4420 says, F this society, I don't want to be part of it. Yeah, it's definitely troubling times. Canaman83, in fairness though, should you be buying a slab if you're on the dole? Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. I'm going to assume that you're joking when you're asking that question. Should you be buying a slab if you're on the dole? It's funny that there's people out there who really would think, well, yeah, if they're on the dole, like, yeah, that's my taxpayers' money. I work hard, like, for them people, and those people get money, like, and they don't even work for it. And like, why should they be able to buy a slab of drink? Like, if they want to buy a slab of drink, why don't they go get a job? How many people on the dole actually want to get a job? Like, how many people on the dole actually want to be on the dole? Not many of them, like. A lot of the people out there who know, like, hear of people on the dole, like, they assume that all of them want to be on the dole. Like, for myself, I'm fucking I'm on back to education now at the moment, like, but once I finish college, I'll be back on the dole. And I don't want to be on the dole. I don't, Eli Lilly are taking on people there now at the moment in Cork, like, but do you think they're going to give me a job? Like Martin, who has a number of court cases pending for cannabis, No, I'm not going to get a job. So because of their silly prohibition, I have to fucking stay on the dole, because otherwise, like, where am I going to go? Get one of these minimum wage jobs, go work fucking ungodly hours there, and barely able to see my family? No, sorry, that's not a fair trade. I'd rather stay on the dole and have the time with my family than go out and do one of your fucking slave labour jobs out there working for bloody minimum wage. And no offense to anybody on minimum wage, but it is a joke. It's not even a living wage in Ireland today, like. So no wonder these businesses are having problems getting people into work. Like, you're paying people minimum wage during a pandemic to come in and work in a place where they're going to be more at risk of contracting a potentially fatal disease. Minimum wage me whole. Canaman83 says, I understand that, however, choice is always associated with everything, although we may not have internal strength to make the difficult choice. Podge 85, I'd rather find a cave now and live in it at this stage. Sick of it. Yeah, a cave with some power, Podge, to get the lights on and stuff, for the ladies. And the ladies I'm on about. Scatness, I can see it. After they tax the shit out of it and still haven't fixed the problem. Yeah, seems like 64% of you out there currently agree with me. 36% saying no. So 36% of people have a bit of faith in the government out there. 40% no. Gabberhead, all right, Martin. My mum said we'll do unspoke excellent love as always from Kindale, bud? Kinsale, I'd say. Nice one, Gabberhead. Sorry, yeah. All right, Martin. My mum said well done. You spoke excellent. Love as always from Kinsale, bud. Yeah, sorry. Nice one for that, Garberhead. Really appreciate it. Daily Talker as well. Podge 85 cavemen were more advanced than some of these dopes. There's definitely some sort of caveman thinking going on above there in the government anyway. How are you going to stop people from binge drinking? We'll increase the price. Sure, that worked for cigarettes, didn't it? No, it didn't. Come on, it didn't really. Like I know my mom gave up cigarettes eventually, but how many price increases did my mom stay smoking cigarettes for? Many of them. Like my mom only gave up cigarettes, I think, within the last 3 to 4 years, I believe it was. And the price of cigarettes, I think she was saying it the other night. The last time she bought fags, they were like 11 or 12 euro a box or something like that. 3 or 4 years ago. Now the box is like 15 euro, and I still see people buying them all the time. Like, how many of you out there roll your joints with tobacco today? And you're paying these increased prices. Madness. Hitmer, as kids we dreamed of wearing capes. Now we have gotten older and we are slaves with white collars. Hey guys, don't let them kill your dream, guys. The dream is still alive. You can all be the hero of your own movie, and I encourage you, every one of you out there, to be the hero of your own movie. I like to think that I'm being the hero of my own movie. In my activism. So each and every one of us has the power to do that as well. Don't be thinking that you can't change things around you. You very much can. You just have to believe it. Believe in it and act on that belief as well. Belief alone is not strong enough. Belief and action are crucial for change. Believe in the change and be the change. That's the one. We make a t-shirt with that. Believe in the change and be the change. Adam O'Brien, it's cruel and unusual punishment to be denied a job simply because you choose to smoke cannabis. Forced to work minimum wage drives people to more criminal activities. I think that's the plan. Yeah, Adam, it is cruel and unusual. I was talking to a man yesterday who, because of his punishment due to cannabis being a grower, he was done for cultivation and sale and supply. Even though he wasn't really involved in sale and supply, he was mostly a grower. Who did look after maybe one or two friends, but it's like he's not a dealer by the traditional sense. But he's unable now to travel over to see family in America because of that. His conviction was in the last 5 to 7 years, I think it was, and still today it's very difficult for him to obtain a pass to get into America to visit family. He's not seen them now in over 10 years, he said. Papa Gummy Bear says, really wish the citizens of this country would agree to stop pretending and going along with the lie. Yeah, me too, Manny. Me too, Papa. Page 85 says, I think my dog Bobby could run the country better than these current wallies. Yeah, they're certainly making a hams of it. Scatness, smoking really has gone down, but I think education on health risks is more responsible than the price. I would agree with you too more, Scatness. I would definitely agree with you more. I would say that the price would maybe made a 10% difference, and the education on the health risks would have done the 90%. And we see that with alcohol as well, and smoking within young people. There's less and less young people now engaged in binge drinking, engaged in taking up the act of smoking. Because of not because of the price, but because of the education around the risks with these substances, So yeah, the price is not responsible for the change. I would have to say it's the education, and those horrible old pictures in the boxes of cigarettes as well. Other comments coming in. Canaman, 100% hero to my kids. Nice one. And good to hear that. It's good to hear that there's other people out there being heroes to their kids. Everybody should definitely be, if a hero to anybody, to your kids. Other comments out there. Patch 85's got 4 Rottweilers, but getting another one though. And they called it puppy love. Papa Gummy Bear, punish the poor for profit. That it's that's it. But people keep play acting. Canman 83 says, I got convicted in 2004 and life very difficult ever since. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not fair people get punished like that because of this silly prohibition that it helps nobody, you know? Helps nobody at all. Shout out to people over there on Facebook as well, guys. I only got shout outs, I believe, on YouTube. My bad. Monsieur Fudge, what's happening, Monsieur? Monsieur's out there. He says, hey, all good luck, Martin. Nice one, Monsieur. Sean Duggan is out there as well. Paul Lefwick, radio show preaching what's bad and good. Nice one, Paul Lefwick. Cahill is out there as well. Adrianitis. Darren Newcomb, what's happening, Darren? Jordan McEra. Fake COVID pass there, €25. I'll send you the screenshot. Mail pass only. PMI man, money first. Soon I sent it legit. So there you go, guys. You know, it's like you see these people see an opportunity to make money, like, and the COVID pass is just another one of them where there's people out there selling fake COVID passes now and making money. And you think that they're not going to sell counterfeit alcohol as well once the opportunity is there? Get out of town. John Roach as well says the prices applied to supermarkets is all. Darren Vickers as well. Happy New Year, Martin. Nice one, Darren Vickers. Happy New Year to yourself and to everybody else out there. And John Roach, stuck in a room with COVID and still blazing. It's not Happy New Year's anymore. Why is it not? Alexis just said it's not Happy New Year's anymore, guys. So stop saying it. Others in the audience. Yeah, actually, just to add in on the COVID stuff there, we actually had COVID in our household over the Christmas period. My dad had it and my daughter Kelsey had it, and none of the rest of us managed to pick it up in the house, despite us sharing spaces and stuff like that. We did put like measures in place. Daughter Kelsey has been confined to her room now for the last number of days, and her movements around the house have been restricted. But none of the rest of us have gotten sick, you know, touching wood right here that we're not jinxing ourselves. But yeah, you know, it's we don't know if it's the Omicron or what's the story there, but she did test positive anyway with the PCR test. They never tell you what the variant is, you know, but despite them being talking about variants, you never know what variant people actually get caught with. But yeah, none of the rest of us have caught it, and hopefully it stays that way. Daily Hawker, I have one Amstaff sheepdog cross. American staff is it? Amstaff. So much work and so hard to train them. John Roach, same here. A walk to the toilet is like royalty. Yeah, I think that's pretty much how Kelsey's been taking it as well. You know, it's like enjoying those little trips outside of her room for the limited ability she can. Ian Kavanagh's out there as well. What's happening, cuz? Stuck in my room blazing too. Think there's a lot of isolating smoking going on. What do you do when you're out of flour, Ian? How do you restock? Has your dealer come up with some form of delivery where they're able to kind of facilitate this handover of cannabis, where they're not going to hand over some COVID with it or get some COVID in return? But what's happening, cuz? Hope you're well, buddy. Yes, congrats on the new baby on the way as well, buddy. A little early congratulations there. My cousin Ian there in the audience, guys, he's expecting a new daughter very soon, so congrats on that. Hopefully you get over this COVID soon and that you're out of isolation in time to get up there to the hospital to welcome your daughter into this world. And yes, we do have to catch up soon as well, because we're long overdue and I'll talk together, buddy. I remember the last smoke we had, Ian, and I hope you don't get too embarrassed by me saying it, like, but I actually thought I was going to have to call an ambulance for my cousin. My cousin was over in the gaff with me there. Was that about 2 years ago now, Googs? Or maybe 3 years ago? It was a while ago, but I gave him a hit off the bong. The bong was about, like, it was a 4-foot bong, if I recall. It was a big bong, and Googs had no bong hit, and his asthma kicked in bad. Like the guy, I thought he was going to pass out and die in front of me or something. Like he was just like, this is really bad. Yeah, he's saying he can't handle that there. But you remember the time I'd say you'll never forget it. No wonder you probably never called back to me, but but yes, happy days, man. Good memories for me, maybe. John Roche says, "Here, take those J's you sent to the TDs and send them this way." Yeah, we'll have to look after the people with COVID out there, guys. We'll set up a charity, joints for COVID. You all send me joints and I'll forward them on to people with COVID. I'll put up a video on how to roll a joint later on where you won't be needing to lick it either. We'll use the old cotton Q-tips and some bottled water. Podge 85 says, I bought a 50 bag the other day and was only 2 grams. What? No way, Podge. Was effing sick at the price of things. Laugh aloud a bong for the first time is a killer on the lungs. It is indeed. And Ian's definitely not partial to the bong hits. He's definitely an old joint smoker, aren't you? But yeah, good times. Daily Talker says, reminds me of almost every time I handed someone the bong. Yeah, it can be definitely a bit too much at once for some people. You know, it's there's a technique to it. Like when you're doing a bong hit, you don't want to burn the whole bowl all at once if you're a first timer. You know, like try to only just hit a quarter of the bowl of cannabis. You know, with the flame, and just take in a smaller volume of smoke there. Squeezy, take it. Start slow, go low. Yeah, go low, start slow. Whatever the phrase is. Podge saying here, I like training dogs. Like training dogs, and it gets easier when you learn a few tricks with dogs. And that's back at Daily Talker. Cause I'm skitting here, cause thanks for the congrats. I might just make it. I've another 5 days in the pin, and then doing what we call a drop. A drop and go, and then bank transfer. The coin works well. Oh, nice. So the dealers are accepting bank transfers now. They're from from people with COVID, in order not to have to hand over that dirty old cash, you know, that COVID-ridden cash. Others, Podge 5, slow and steady wins the race. Exactly, guys. So guys, it's great to be back on here. It's great to be back on the microphone and back on the old stream with all you out there, guys. I will get back on tomorrow for it might not be a full blown 420 news, but we'll start off. Yeah, we'll go slow. We'll start off slow in the new year, and we'll hit the floor running then on Monday with the 420 news. But tomorrow, guys, Friday, we will get back on for a little special 420 news. We'll have 1 or 2 headlines up there, but it'll probably be more just no New Year's party. Even though Alexis told me New Year's is not no more. It's like 6 days into January, guys. Like New Year's is like 6 days ago. Like, come on now, guys. We'll have a little man's Christmas tomorrow. No, sorry, there's women in the audience. That's sexist. We'll have a little cannabis consumers Christmas tomorrow. And me and Alexis might play It Takes Two as well later on, guys. So keep an eye out for that stream as well. She's asking me there if we can play It Takes Two. So it'd be rude of me not to oblige her. So keep an eye out for that there. And later on. Oh yes, and Karina, Kelsey, Alexis, Elijah out there in the audience giving a reminder. There's 19 tickets left too, guys. That's 19 tickets left to the raffle up online. If you don't know about the raffle, guys, it's €10 a ticket. There's 70 numbers up there, and there's 3 prizes to be won. The prizes are a mystery brown envelope, guys, to the value of €100 each. So what's in the envelope, I cannot reveal for good reason. But I will say that it's a prize that every one of you out there in the audience will be very happy with, I'd imagine. So if you want to get a ticket, guys, there is 19 tickets left. €10 a ticket. As soon as all the tickets are gone, guys, the raffle will go ahead. Hence why Karina wants to get the tickets all there. I'm terrible at marketing these things, and I keep on forgetting to remind you about the raffle that's going on, and hence why there's 19 tickets left. Um, so yes, guys. What is it? It's PayPal, Revolut. If you want to get a ticket, €10 ticket. Just message me first. Have a look over on martinsworld.ie. Go to the 420 News blog. You'll see the raffle in there. You'll see the numbers that are left. There's 19 of them left. Just message me with the number that you would like of those remaining numbers, and then send me your money. And once all the tickets are sold, guys, we'll have the raffle live on air. We'll use a random number generator, and we'll pick those winners out, and we'll get your prizes to you promptly. Daily Talker, yes, at Pod 85 I always had dogs and was able to train them, but now that I have two, it's a whole lot harder to keep them focused and under control. If you want to give some tips, it would be appreciated. Yeah, I find it more difficult to try and do two dogs at the same time as well, Daily. It's good to bring them out one at a time, get the groundwork done with the dog on its own, then go out and try to work with them together. But yeah, I would definitely think that working with one dog alone is easier than two together when you have two untrained dogs. Googs, haha, Alexis is gas. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a nice day, cuz I've some TV to get to. Nice one, cuz. Enjoy the rest of your day, bud. A nice one for popping into the chat or into the hot box. Yeah, Podge 85 adding in there. Which of your dogs is the boss, Daily Talker? And he says start with them, and the other dogs will follow in learning. That's a good tip. A good tip. Girls only. Give me €100. I said yes. And I hear someone giggling behind me. I wonder who that was. Girls only. That's a very sexist username. Like, this is like, you know. And girls only is saying, hey, no boys allowed. I think that might be someone in the room with me. Daily who is? What's the dog? It's Podge's dogs. Daily Talker says the younger dog is trying to dominate the older dog, as the older one is very obedient. Nice. Sheepdog Cross is just much different than the staff, and he has a strong prey drive. That means you have to stand up and show you're the pack leader, says Podge. Daily Talker, you gotta be the leader of the pack, you gotta be the alpha dog. Yes, martinsworld.ie, guys. Get over to martinsworld.ie, check out the 420 News blog. You'll find a fundraiser over there anyway. I see Daily Talker just put the link in the chat over on YouTube. But there is 19 tickets left, guys, if you want to get involved. Great prizes. Let's just say there's a bit of Canadian. Let's just say that there's a bit of Canadian in the prize. You know, there's some. We won't say too much more after that. Why did the chicken cross the playground? Those girls only. Daily Talker, but you are right. I will try to focus on them individually. Nice one. Pods4420 says, can't buy online or send money anymore unless I update my phone, and I ain't doing that for a while. What's with that? Why ain't you updating your phone? Oh, as in update it, as in buy a new one? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. To get to the other side. I'll take the Canadian if you don't like it. No, Faja, I love the Canadian. It's yes, the Canadian in the fries is definitely to be sought after. To get to the other slide. Aye, very good. So why did the chicken cross the playground, guys? To get to the other slide. There you go. There you go. Oh, well. Ba-dum-bum. There we go. An old drum roll for Alexis. Anyone smoked the Dutch ammo floating about? I've not heard of it at all, John. Is that down around your neck of the woods? Anybody else out there hooting on the Dutch ammo that's floating about the place? Dutch Amos, I'd imagine it's the cannabis strain rather than a bullet of hash that gets stuck up a bum. Because that's kind of what I'm picturing, you know, Dutch ammo. It's like a bullet that gets stuck where the sun don't shine, you know, up the prisoner's pocket. Does it create that image for anybody else? Am I alone in that? Dutch ammo. And I see a few people out there got a good giggle off of Alexis's joke. Or sorry, Girls Only's joke. Pods4420 says, yeah, as in buy a new one. I have an old Android, so yeah. It's fairly annoying having to upgrade a phone, isn't it? Doing all those transfers and everything. Alright, we'll take one more joke here from Girls Only. She says, a knock knock. Who's there? Boo. Boo hoo. Boo hoo. I said a boo hoo. I know where this is going. Daily Talker saying I'd love a rectum shaped lump of hash. When I was looking on Frenchy Cannoli's group there on Facebook yesterday, and and there was a few of those rectum shaped lumps of hash, and yeah, they definitely, like, despite where they looked like they were going, they looked tasty. So knock knock, who's there? Boo hoo. Why are you crying? I'm only knocking at the door. Alrighty, guys. I think with that one, I will start loving ye and leaving ye. Don't forget, guys, the raffle is still going on anyway. We've 19 tickets left. €10 ticket, guys. Once those remaining tickets have been sold, the raffle will go ahead. And it's good that I get to laugh at someone else's jokes on here today, because I always get killed for laughing at my own jokes. I'm told that they're not funny, Dad. So yes, guys, I will catch you back tomorrow at 4:20, or maybe this evening actually, guys. Myself and Alexis, the old joke teller, might join me on the stream for a game of It Takes Two and some more joke telling. Yes, Podgetty5 says I'm off for a nice head clearing walk while it's a bit clear. Peace out. Yeah, myself and Elijah, I got out there yesterday for some lovely walks with the dogs. I'll leave you with this one, a little photo of myself and Elijah yesterday. I can still hear you, Alexis. Don't worry. Oops. So myself and Elijah got a new little gift yesterday, so we will be going out for a walk as well later on, Podge. And this is what we will be doing it with. 1 second here, we pop it up on screen. Boom. So there's my little man. We were out walking yesterday, and I got a body strap. I don't know if you've seen one of those harnesses for the kids. And I got this picture of him because he was wide awake when we first set out on our journey with the two dogs with Chase and Rubble, and not long after, this is how he ended up. Fast asleep. So we will be out there on the walk as well later, and Alexis will be with us too. Ian Kavanagh says, share the link to me if you're on later, not on TV. Not a bother at all, because it'll be a bit of gaming. Myself and Alexis, we've been playing a game there for the last, I think we've had 6 streams of the game now, and I think we should be onto the final boss tonight, hopefully. Hopefully we're on the final boss anyway. Otherwise, we've a bit more to do. Yes, so yes, guys, much love, peace, and happy new year to everybody out there. Stay ablaze, guys, keep her lit, and I'll see you all back on the stream very soon.